Today on Panther TV, living in a war zone, we talk to two Ukrainians about their daily lives.
A new nonprofit in Plymouth hopes to bring new opportunities for students.
And if you're looking for a treat, there's something sweet coming our way. Panther TV starts now.
Good morning, Plymouth South. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Jill Neal.
And I'm Emma Colonna. For nearly a year, the people of Ukraine have been living their lives in the midst of a war. Some have fled the country, others have joined the country's military, and some are still there trying to carry on with their daily lives during their time of war.
Here's Panther TV's Jacob Olson with the story.
10 months after being invaded, Ukrainians continue to overcome difficult times in a country with an ongoing war in their own backyard. I had the opportunity to talk with two men living in Ukraine to find out what day-to-day life is like living in a war. As a warning, some of the photos you're about to see do contain some graphic content. Welcome to Ukraine, a country that has been fighting off an invasion since February, the most recent in Europe since the annexation of Crimea in 2014, another invasion on Ukrainian soil. With constant air raid sirens and persistent power outages, it goes without question that Ukrainians have made some changes to their lifestyle in recent time. Sviatoslav and Yuri, who live in Lviv, a city on the western side of Ukraine, are required to stay in the country because they are men. However, they work in the tech field, so they are exempt from being drafted into the war, leaving them trying to carry on with their lives as much as possible.
I start my morning by reading news to know whether something happened or not. Sometimes it's important, sometimes it's not important, but that's a habit that I have developed.
My typical working day is I'm going to the office if there is no any air raid alarms outside, so it's enough safe to go outside to keep working in the office, and typical usual day if nothing happens outside.
Just a day before speaking with Sviatoslav, air raid sirens went off, a frequent reminder of the abnormal life they are living.
If it happens yesterday, then yeah, it's for 6 hours once or two per day. But usually it's for 1 hour, maybe one, maybe two times per day, or no alarms at all. That is really bothering because on the first days, it was kind of stressful. We didn't knew what to expect, and they do a lot of provoking stuff to keep civilians on stress. So they did a lot of provoking stuff on really early in the morning, 4 a.m., 5 a.m., just so everyone will woke up and stress.
With several hours spent in bunkers, some have become more elaborate, turning into places where people can socialize, becoming more of a bar restaurant, or continue to learn, like this elementary school classroom bunker. Even when there's not fear of an airstrike, power outages are recurrent, both planned and unplanned.
We have some massive airstrikes on our city, on the whole country, so it's damage a lot of power stations, and we have a lot of problems of our connections. Of our electricity, so our government decided to apply this. They call it rolling blackouts. So they just decide which streets will be out, will have this power outages. So it's a problem because they make schedules but they're not always following the schedules.
Despite the air raids and power outages, Yuri and Sviatoslav believe they are lucky to be where they are in Ukraine.
We are living on the west side of country. I would say it's most safe place right now.
We live really far from the front lines, and there are we don't have such freaking shelling. And if it's happening, it's all Ukraine bombing. That's what happened yesterday.
Because of the safety in Lviv, many Eastern Ukrainians living by the front lines have fled to the city.
I participated in volunteering from Red Cross. So we traveled to the border to help refugees that were fleeing Ukraine, mostly like women and children. There are a lot of friends of mine that help like to at least stay for several days or like for some time in the apartment for refugees, because on the first days we didn't know what expect, whether our army will hold on or they will be like defeated at all, because it's like the first prediction of war was that we will be destroyed, like our army will be destroyed and the whole country prepared for guerrilla war, but that didn't happen. So that's why a lot of refugees like they return to their homes. So yeah, there were a lot of cognition centers where you can sleep when you will be provided with food, with clothes, and so on.
The refugees may be safe from immediate danger, but that does not mean they are free from other related issues.
So a lot of people just raised a rent fee like 2 times just to get money, and that's like a nasty part of helping.
Although Sviatoslav and Yuri are further away from direct combat, the war has still taken the lives of many members in their community.
It's so many. We had this air raid alarms, so we usually not pay attention enough for them, because if we know there's not like some missiles heading to our city, I guess it's pretty safe to. I wouldn't say it's safe. I should not say if it's safe, but it's okay if you walk around. But mostly of all commercials are not working in that because they're not allowed to work in. And we even had this incident in city that some of the mall was attacked during the air raid alarm, and a lot of people's there in the building. Commercials are working, some grocery stores are working, and we had a lot of people died after rocket crashed into the building.
Ukrainians are showing an immense amount of resilience during a time of war. And despite all the challenges, people like Yuri and Sviatoslav are always laughing, smiling, displaying an...
What an incredible story.
It's truly hard to understand just what they're going through. Thank you, Jacob.
Now on to a new partnership for the Plymouth Public Schools.
Dylan Long takes us to the Farmhouse, where minds are coming together to create opportunities for learning.
A new collaboration is forming between Plymouth South and the Farmhouse, a place located on Center Hill Road right near Ellisville State Park. The property is a place that the owner hopes many Plymouth South students will be able to utilize for various learning opportunities. The Farmhouse is an exciting idea that has been in the mind of founder Paul Krasinski for years.
The Farmhouse was really a concept that I thought about probably 12 years ago, about creating a place for young people to come, connect, gather, and actually discover themselves.
The Farmhouse is situated on 10 acres that include a pond, fields, and beachfront. Krasinski hopes that kids can come here to connect with nature and have real-world learning experiences that extend beyond school.
I thought that, the formal education process isn't always enlightening for everybody. So sometimes I said if we could create a place that was immersed in nature, they could both discover themselves and discover nature at the same time.
After years of trying to find the perfect place, the Farmhouse property clicked from the minute Krasinski saw it.
So in 2017, I came to this property for family vacation. I literally saw it online and I said, hey, this could be a place that really could be a venue and a setting that I always dreamed about.
While still in the early stages, Krasinski has reached out to Plymouth South principal Mrs. Fry in an effort to partner with the school in a variety of ways.
So think of science classes. So if the science classes, they do different events in that property because of the natural element that it's in, that would be something that could broaden our students' horizons. And Mr. Krasinski's been very open to us and welcoming, but it would always be kind of through a school connection, and we'd see where it goes.
From a partnership, I think really bringing exposure to real life situations to students, giving them an opportunity to do the things they care about, that they're passionate about, whether that's on the farm or in the production studio or doing stand-up paddleboarding on the pond or walking along the beach just for a a small retreat from their daily routine.
Besides partnering with Plymouth South, Krasinski and the Farmhouse has also partnered with the National Marine Wildlife Center, as well as Jane Goodall's Roots and Shoots program, another program dedicated to youth leadership. Reporting for Panther TV, I'm Dylan Long.
In need of a sweet treat? Look no further than Colony Place's newest and most anticipated addition, Sweet Frog. Here's Alex Sarides with more.
Whether you're in need of a sweet treat, looking for a new job, or a place to display your artwork, the newest Sweet Frog location might be for you.
After months of construction, including many delays, the mother-son team of Jeanette and John Pasquale are ready to open the doors on Sweet Frog's newest local location.
So Sweet Frog is a frozen yogurt brand, so we're going to be selling frozen yogurt. There's going to be merchandise, sweatshirts, keychains, wristbands, and then it's mostly going to be a family-friendly space.
So Sweet Frog itself was first formed in 2009 in Virginia and has since spread. There's now 230 franchise stores in the country, 20 licensed stores still, and there's actually 6 mobile stores.
Sweet Frog is a popular local staple with a location that's been in Marshfield for at least 5 years. Like the Marshfield location, the new Plymouth store will feature 16 flavors of frozen yogurt and dozens of toppings.
Each machine also has a middle handle where you can mix the 2 flavors. Then we're going to have a topping bar with spots for about 50 or 60 different options. There's going to be fruits, there's going to be candies, nuts. We're also going to have a couple different dietary information sources if people have questions about that.
So it's all self-serve, which is great. We have had a lot of requests for sugar-free, so that will be there all the time. Every month there is a flavor of the month that's required by the franchise. So it's something to look forward to every month. There's also seasonal flavors that come in and out. We always do take requests too, so if there's something you don't see or you're looking for, if we have enough requests for it, we can put that on.
While the anticipation for their store to open has seemed long awaited, lots of hard work has been going on behind the scenes.
So the decision to open in Plymouth was it's close to home, and then obviously Colony Place here has a lot of business, a lot of foot traffic. There's going to be a lot of new apartments going in, so.
One of Sweet Frog's main goals is to be involved in the community. To do this, the owners have come up with a creative way to showcase the artwork of high school students in their store.
We have a really huge wall on the right side of our store when you first come in on the right side. I know it's 12 feet tall, but other than that, we don't have much going on. And I thought it would be really great to contact the local high schools, the art departments, and offer to display the students' artwork on the wall because we do have such a great space for it. We're going to do our best to accommodate as much as we can.
If you're looking for a part-time job or a place to display your artwork, make sure you stop by the new Sweet Frog. Reporting for Panther TV, I'm Alex Sarides.
You might have heard of SkillsUSA, especially if you were in a tech here at Plymouth South, but not many know what really happens besides the tests our technical students take. Here's Taylor Gendron with more on what SkillsUSA is all about.
When you think of SkillsUSA, you think of taking a test for your technical studies. Not many know it's a club where you can be an active member and strengthen your leadership skills. When it comes to explaining exactly what SkillsUSA is to someone who has never experienced it, it can become challenging.
Oh, the $1,000,000 question, you weren't kidding. Okay, so SkillsUSA is, the best way I can put it is that it's an opportunity for students to become workplace ready, to grow as a person, to become professionals in their field. Basically, it's all built on this framework. So you might see this triangle logo, and it's founded on workplace, personal, and technical skills. And basically, it's just making sure that students at a young age are ready to enter the workforce being the best versions of themselves.
Basically, when you're a vocational student and you're part of different programs, you go and you learn things within those programs to help you be an expert baker or a cosmetologist.
In November, a small group of students attended the SkillsUSA Fall State Leadership Conference, where they learned skills to help better themselves personally, technically, and in a workplace setting.
Some of the events that SkillsUSA does throughout the year change each year a little bit, but some of the consistent ones that we always do is the Fall State Leadership Conference, in which we will bring a handful of students up to Marlborough, Mass. We're going to spend the night, and over the course of 2 days, they're going to do different activities throughout the weekend to just kind of sharpen their skills, learn about working with different people, some leadership type activities and team building type things.
Maria Baker graduated from Plymouth South in 2020. She joined SkillsUSA in 2017 and was the state president for her senior year. Even now, in 2022, she is involved in the program as an alumni.
Do it. That's the only thing I can say is just do it, because whenever I had friends in high school that I finally coaxed into coming to a conference by senior year, they said, I wish I started sooner. And if you try it and it's not for you, that's fine, but I've never met someone who SkillsUSA wasn't for.
Mr. Medeiros also joined when he was in high school and is now an advisor for his own students.
So I just encourage people just to try it. Just come to a Tuesday meeting, check it out, see if it's something that interests you. Come to an event, come participate in something, come be part of joining it or planning some of the events that we have going on. And I bet I see you again.
Overall, SkillsUSA can better you as an individual and strengthen your leadership skills. If you would like to join yourself, come to the construction room every Tuesday at 2:10. I hope to see you there. Reporting for Panther TV, I'm Taylor Gendron.
Now it's time to head over to sports.
Let's check in with Declan Davis, who has a lot to talk about as we head into the winter season.
It's hard to believe it's already December, but that means winter sports are here. The Plymouth South girls basketball program has seen its fair share of ups and downs over the past few seasons, but with a new coach and staff at the helm, things are looking up. Here's Panther TV's Nathaniel Wolfgang with more.
The girls basketball team got back to work the Monday after Thanksgiving with new coaches at all 3 levels. First-year head coach Alex Rizakis is looking to bring major changes to the girls basketball program in hopes of creating a fun and winning environment.
I feel extremely honored. This is a great opportunity that came up at the perfect time, and I just can't wait to get started and try to get this program on the right track and give these girls the best possible basketball experience I can. It's whether we win or lose, I don't think that's going to really measure our success. I want them to be able to look back and say, I had a great experience playing for Plymouth South, and then one day hopefully come back and help out and try to get this program, like I said, on the right track. And I think that's the best way to lead to success in the future.
Coach Rizakis is no stranger to Plymouth, having been involved with Plymouth South's youth basketball program for most of his life.
I'm a Plymouth guy myself. I started playing basketball for South Plymouth Youth Basketball, the program that I now run. And then I worked my way up where I was actually a varsity captain right here at Plymouth South.
One task Coach Alex had to accomplish prior to the beginning of the season was filling out the rest of the remaining coaching positions with qualified candidates.
Well, this year we actually have brand new staff. 2 teachers from the building, Mrs. Petachenko and Mrs. Azarino, with solid basketball backgrounds. I can't wait to get started with them. I think some fresh faces in there are really going to give the program the spark we need to get us on the right track again.
With so many new changes to the program, I sat down with 2 senior leaders on the team to talk about their expectations heading into the season.
I'm excited for a new approach to the game, and I just can't wait to get started and see all the new drills he has for us.
I'm really looking forward to seeing how Coach Alex will create a new environment for us and where this will take the program for success this season.
The girls begin their season Monday, December 12th against crosstown rivals Plymouth North. Best of luck to the girls program this season. Reporting for Panther TV, I'm Nathaniel Wolfgang.
Another popular winter sport here at South is wrestling. And as reporter Alec Law found out, whether you've been wrestling for years or you're just starting out, there's a place on the team for anyone willing to try it.
While many students play sports all throughout high school, some fear it's too late to start. But what many don't realize is you don't always need a ton of experience to have a great season. Down at the halftime facility, the Plymouth South wrestling team is back to work for the second season under the guidance of head coach Mr. Hardy, who was also a Plymouth South wrestler himself.
I've been coaching wrestling now. This is my 5th season. I was an assistant coach for 3 years, and now I am the head wrestling coach going into my 2nd year.
The wrestling team is seeing many faces, old and new. But this year, one student decided to join wrestling as a junior.
I decided to start wrestling this year because my friends do it, and I also do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and it's pretty similar. I think it's going to be challenging in the beginning, but I think I'm going to grow accustomed to it and like it in the end.
Whether you're just starting out or you've been wrestling for a while, you're sure to have a great time.
I like the intensity of it. The energy is really just unmatched compared to any other sport I've played. Just all around a good feeling to be playing there.
If you're thinking about joining wrestling, you should really be able to put in the work year-round and not just during the season.
So I've been going to the gym a lot recently. I've just been doing a lot of cardio, a lot of lifting weights.
At home, I do workouts like push-ups, sit-ups, and I just go for runs so I can get in shape for the season.
As you can see, everybody's able to try something new, but what matters is how much effort you're willing to put into it. Reporting for Panther TV, I'm Alec Law.
This winter, the Plymouth South winter track team has some big expectations.
For Nolan Palmer, this year's upcoming season is about succeeding as a team and for himself.
I'm really looking forward to
strengthening bonds with my teammates and just doing the best I can this season.
Being a Patriot League All-Star last spring and an All-State runner, Nolan has goals that if he succeeds will set him apart from anyone in South's history.
I actually have some pretty big goals for myself. I want to set the school record in high jump, which is right now at 6'2", and I think I can get higher than that, so that's my goal.
Besides having a strong competitor in Nolan Palmer, the South track team also has a distance runner with a Division I scholarship. Here's Jamie Andrews with more.
As we told you in October, Dylan Brilliant, a star distance runner, recently committed to Stonehill College in Northeastern. Dylan officially signed to run cross country and track for the Division I program in front of friends, family, coaches, and school staff at his signing day. School leaders and coaches recognized Dylan for his hard work on and off the track.
None of this happens without grades, without being a great human being, without athletic talent. And I think a lot of times we take athletic talent for granted, but the impressive statistics that you coaches will talk about are just awesome. And
one thing about Dylan, he's extremely committed to Plymouth South. He is, I'm pretty sure he's going to be the first Plymouth South graduate that played 13 sports in high school. The reason for that is Dylan's sophomore year during COVID, basketball season happened, and then winter track happened like 2 months or a month after basketball ended. So Dylan actually did 4 seasons his sophomore year.
My favorite thing is that when we're giving him splits at meets or in workouts and you tell him that he's a little bit off, like instantly you just see the legs start turning over faster. He always wants to do better. And that's a testament to how you got where you are right now and why you're going to Stonehill.
It's just a testament to the hard work that you put in over the years. It's easy to say you're going to do that, but then when you're up here and now you're on the stage as a Division I scholarship athlete, it's quite an accomplishment.
Dylan also had a chance to give some remarks and thank those who have helped him along the way.
I would like to take a moment to personally thank all of my track and field and cross-country coaches. Their support has been instrumental in helping me reach my goals, and I am so grateful. Your leadership and guidance throughout high school has both helped me on and off the track.
Dylan is the 4th South track athlete to get a Division I scholarship in the last 10 years. For Panther TV Sports, I'm Jamie Andrews.
We wish Nolan and Dylan and the rest of the winter sport teams good luck on their upcoming seasons. Now back to Emma and Jill.
Balancing school, work, clubs, sports, and activities can be challenging for high school students.
For one, a growing passion led to a tough decision. Here's Panther TV's Kaylee Elger with more.
This Plymouth South junior has been involved with the arts for some time, but now she's becoming more invested. She gave up the sport she loves in order to pursue her passion for music. You might have seen Caiti Theran in the Theatre Guild's production of the Laramie Project, or singing the national anthem at sporting events. Possibly in the past you saw her cheering from the sidelines. For the past 2 years she's juggled both visual and performing arts and sports, which wasn't always easy.
I decided to stop doing cheer because I was sort of faced with a decision because I wasn't able to do like half cheer. I had to commit to a full competition season and I knew I wouldn't have enough time to do both performing and cheering. I would have to leave practices early, rehearsals early, and it didn't always make people happy, so it was definitely hard.
Cheer and music have been 2 major parts of Caiti's life, but the decision made sense. While she grew up cheering and playing sports, since becoming involved in the VPA, Caiti's love for performing has grown, and it's now become something she hopes to continue after high school.
It's a very hard thing to pursue, but it's been a dream of mine since I was really young, so definitely I could see myself doing it. I've been able to really express myself and I've performed a lot. It made it so I'm a lot more comfortable going in front of people. I used to get really nervous before I would perform, but now that I've gotten to do it so much this year already, I'm already a lot less nervous just going up in front of people.
Caiti has also taken on being the public relations manager of the PSHS Theatre Guild, furthering her involvement in the VPA community as a leader.
I really like being a member of the e-board for Plymouth South. It makes me think a lot more about how I'm going to get other people to come out of their shell a little and express themselves with music. It makes me feel important in the performing arts category, and a lot of people come to me with like questions, and I feel like I'm helping people out and serving as like a role model.
Although Caiti isn't continuing cheer, it's been a huge part of her life, and she continues to show support for the sport she loves while pursuing her performing arts dreams. While Caiti has had to step aside from doing cheer full-time, she hasn't given up sports completely. She still plans on doing track this year. Reporting for Panther TV, I'm Kaylee Elgar.
That's our time for today.
Have a great day, Plymouth South. great day, Plymouth South. We're silly.
Yeah. High five. I think I showed the pain because that hurts.